Today you see two pairs of bottoms, super cute, neat fabrics, two different versions from this pattern. It's a skirt, which means there are shorts underneath a skirt. Little bit of a shorter option here for active wear or for walking or water park, sports, tennis, golf, whatever. This is one of my versions in a print. I also have one in a solid. Little shorties underneath, super nice. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today we're going to see some bottoms. A little bit of a leggy episode today. When you see these bottoms on, they are a little bit shorter, but they're meant to be, and it's because of the activities that we're going to do while wearing these. What I'm talking about is the Duet skirt from GreenStyle. Now in the last episode you would have seen some Cali tops, another amazing pattern from GreenStyle that is for activewear or swimwear. I chose to make these two sort of together because they go with each other. You can see that in one of these I'm going to have a set. The Cali top that you've already seen and the Duet skirt that you'll see today are both patterns featured during the month of May, so they're both 15% off. There is actually a memorial sale happening at GreenStyle right now through the 29th of May, and with the code MDAY24 you get 30% off the whole site. But because these two patterns are already discounted, the discount sort of goes on top of it, and these both end up being about 40% off through the 29th of May. So it's a pretty sweet discount if you get the Duet skirt and the Cali top before the 29th is over. Find my affiliate link in the description box and the pinned comment down below. Now the Duet skirt is a newish pattern, was released within the last year or so. I loved it as soon as I saw it, and this is a SKORT, which means it's shorties and a skirt on the top overlaid. Now there's two types of waistbands that can go on here. There's a simple V waistband, there's a V shape on the front, or there's also another V shape, but it's a waistband that's overlapped. If you have been consuming the content here at Lifting Pins and Needles, you would know that I uploaded a separate technique video for these waistbands 2 days ago. I decided to make a separate one because this is a feature that you see a lot at GreenStyle. So instead of filming it every single time, I decided to make a technique video on its own so you can reference. And it's shown in quite a few details with some extras that you might consider depending on your choice of fabric. So my Duet skirts, they have one of each, the simple V and the overlap V. You can see how to sew them in the other video. Now underneath this skirt you have shorties. These shorties have a side panel, and in that side panel you have pockets sewn on there. Very easy pockets, the easiest ones you can sew. They have a nice amount of capacity there. You could fit a phone in there, a credit card or a key. It's really nice. The shorties are nice and fitted down there, and you can make them super short or a little bit less short. The shorties are not going to reach your knee, okay? So they're going to be at the mid-thigh at the longest, and that's the option I have. Now what goes on top is the overlaid skirt, and it's so easy to sew. You're going to see and be amazed at how easy it can be. There's two types of skirts. One that overlaps a little bit more and covers the shorties completely. It still overlaps on the side, so you can easily put your hand in the pocket that the shorties have underneath. So it's not like there's a side seam on the skirt. So one option has more coverage, the other option has less coverage. And these skirts also have 3 lengths for you to choose from: a really short one, a less short one, and then a less short one. I think the longest one will still be a couple of inches above the knee. These are not long skirts, but I suppose you can make yours longer. What option did I choose? The middle option. So not the very short one or not the long option. So right there in the middle, and the shorties are a little bit shorter than this. I've also chosen to do the two types of overlay, the one that crosses more, the one that crosses less. And it's just so nice. I really love how they turned out. For the fabrics, of course, you need neat fabrics, performance fabrics, at least 50% stretch horizontally and vertically. And I decided to pull some footage showing you how I check for stretch in a really detailed way. Just as a refresher, it's a very short clip, and I'm going to insert it here so you can see what I do on my cutting mat to check the stretch of fabrics. If it says at least 50%, that means at least. If your fabric has 75, that's fine. It just shouldn't have less than 50. Here on the 20, let's pretend that's 0, and I'll be measuring against 4 inches. That is what I usually do. So from 20 to 24 to 28 would be 100% stretch. If my fabric stretched from 24 to 26, that would be 50% stretch. And then if it stretched up to 27, that would be 75% stretch. I'll place the edge of my fabric here on the 20. I have the 4 right there, that's 4 inches that I want to test. and I'll stretch, and it reaches 27 very easily. So this would be 75% stretch. It's quite a nice heavyweight knit. It stretches that much horizontally and vertically. It also has a great stretch. This next one is a very heavyweight compressive knit. It's very good quality. It's very stretchy. It's got a lot of spandex in there. It stretches really well horizontally and vertically. That's what you need. And so I'll put the edge here on the 20 inches, hold it there where it's 24, and see how much it will stretch. It reaches 27 easily. It does not reach 28. So this does actually have 75% stretch. It's really good. I will just put the edge here on the 20 and on the 24 and see, and it's got a lovely stretch. I mean, it'll stretch very nice horizontally and vertically. They are heavy fabrics. They are not lightweight, and I know it'll be super nice. These are athletic knits, so it's not like I'm guessing if they're going to work. So you can choose swim fabrics, brushed athletic knits, supplex, a mix of polyamide and spandex, or polyester with spandex, nylon and spandex. There's so many compositions that you can find. I have two different types of fabrics here, and I did notice a difference in how the shorties feel, because for one of them I chose a lighter weight fabric, about 8 or 9 ounce weight, and 90% polyester, 10% spandex for the shorties. And while they're fine, they're absolutely fine. They don't have that compression that my second pair of shorties have, where I chose a heavier fabric. And I always save the little labels on the fabric so that I know the composition. This one has polyamide 78%, spandex 22%. So it's a lot of spandex, it's heavier, it's much firmer, and the shorties just have that compression that makes them feel amazing on. I still like both of them. If I had to choose, I would recommend you using a heavier fabric with more spandex for the shorties. Now for the skirt overlay, you can use something lighter. That is absolutely fine. And yeah, I don't think you're gonna notice, because that's just on the top of the garment. You know, what's really close to you and has to feel nice and supportive are the shorties underneath. So for one of them, I used a really nice print left over from something that's going to match one of my Cali tops, and that's the version I'm using to do the overlay that wraps around more, that has the most coverage. And for my second version, it's all black, because I need a black version that I could pair with a lot of things. This time my overlay is lighter weight. It's just an athletic knit, and I did the less coverage option there. Sizing is from B to M. At this point, I'm at size H. With knit fabrics, it's always going to feel different. These are absolutely fine. I did make my correct size. I didn't make any changes to the pattern whatsoever. I just chose my size H, which matches my waist and my hips, and no changes. Absolutely none. So nothing really special to say there. Just make sure you look at the size chart and choose accordingly, and you'll have a nice result. Don't worry about finished garment measurements. These are fitted designs. They are meant to be way smaller than you. That's why we have that amount of stretch recommended, 50%. So don't be scared if you look at these pattern pieces and they look like this. They're gonna fit. They're supposed to be fitted, so they're supposed to be much smaller than your body. So I would just go ahead and trust the process. Trust your size chart, pick your size, and you'll have a nice result. Of course, I have filmed my process for you, minus the waistbands. Remember, I have a separate video all about the waistbands, so see how to sew them there. But I'm going to show you how to put the shorties together and the overlay. It's so easy. Oh my gosh, it's just so easy. These are the pattern pieces for the shorties that go underneath the duet skirt. You can use this separately as well if you just want shorties. Here on the top are the waistband pieces. The ones with the print are my outer layers. The ones in black are my inner layers. They are separate pattern pieces. They're not the same. These are slightly shorter on the inside than the outer pieces. These are the pieces for the actual shorts here. You can see that the short is composed of 3 pieces: the back, the middle panel, and the front. You're going to have notches here to help you line these up. So here you're going to have single notches, here you're going to have double notches to line them up. You can see that this middle panel has one side that's longer than that side. That's the one going to the back because the back's longer. Now this piece right here is the pocket, and it's super easy pocket because it just goes sewn on top of the middle panel like that, and that's how you get a pocket on the side of your leg. These are going to be super easy to put together. If you want to, there is an optional gust that you can sew. If you're sewing that, then this pattern piece will become a little smaller like this. I'm not doing the gust at this time. This should be fairly simple to put together, and I'm very excited. I'll show you the skirt pieces that will go over the shorties. The skirt pieces will go overlaid on top of the shorties on this raw waist area, and then the waistband is sewn at the very end, and that's going to catch the shorties and the skirt piece. These are the skirt pieces. They look quite funny. They're actually on the fold here. This larger piece and the one with the rounded shape here is the back skirt. This smaller one that has a V shape there is going to go on the front to match the V shape of the waistband that's going to go on the front. These are on the fold, so when you extend them, they turn out to be pretty large pieces. I'm sewing the option of the skirt that has more coverage, that overlaps more on the side. There is one that overlaps less on the side where you can see the shorties a little bit easier and a little bit more of the leg. Each of these options has 3 lengths. There's a shorter length, this is the middle length, and then there's a longer length right here. In the instructions, you don't hem this area here. You just cut it really carefully, and that's how you leave it. I would do that if my fabric was the same on both sides, but because my wrong side is white, I just can't leave that unhemmed. So what I did to my pattern piece was add 3/8 of an inch all around this area here. So all around the curve there, I cut it 3/8 of an inch bigger, just so I can have that small hem allowance. I wouldn't want anything bigger than that because it's really curved. This area is original, that has been unchanged. It's just this area that I cut like that. I serged the edge, and then I folded it in by 3/8 and did quick hand basting. Now, I have to be honest, this was pretty long. It did take a while, but it was super relaxing. I don't mind. And I know that when I hand baste, I'm going to get a really nice curve with hem, and I won't get any pulling or the fabric moving around. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew this. I'm using a narrow zigzag for this, and the hem allowance is pretty small. And it's the same process with the front and the back skirt. These are the pocket pieces that will go on the side panels of the legs. Up higher here, you're going to have notches. I have double ones here, single, single, double. That's just going to help us put this on top of the middle panel. But first, we have to hem this on the top. So on the side that's closer to the marks, not down here. It's easy to get confused because it's a rectangle. I'm just going to fold this in by 3/4 of an inch and top stitch. I'm using a twin needle for this top stitching. This is a stitch that looks nice and also has stretch because on the back you get a type of zigzag. This is one of the middle pieces that goes between the back and the front leg. If you look over here, we have double notches, so the back leg is going to be sewn here and the front leg over here. And so now that we've already hemmed the top of the pocket, we're just going to put it on top. Now here you can see the single notch and the single notch. That means that everything is correct. This is going to align at the bottom. They have the same shape. So all I'm going to do is just hand baste this around just so that this acts like one piece now. I would rather just do it by hand sewing than with the machine. It's just faster and easier to pull out in afterwards. And I don't want to have extra stitches, basting stitches in here afterwards because it can get bulky. Okay, here you can see the middle panel. I've got the pocket basted. Red stitches somewhere there, you can see. Very easy to remove. And then I've pinned the other sides of the leg, the back and the front. Double notches here match the double notches under there. The single one matches the one over here, so it's very easy to put together. I'm just going to serge these seams, 3/8 seam allowance, and then this whole thing will be complete. This is one leg, and we repeat with the other one. This basting stitch can come flying right off now. It was super easy to remove. And now when you put your hand in, that's where the pocket's going to be. It's quite long because it's going to reach all the way up to the hem over here. These are the longer shorts. So if you're doing the shorter version, then your pocket's going to be a little bit smaller. But this can pretty much fit a phone right here. Good space. So I'm going to repeat with the other leg, and then once both are done, we're going to put them right sides together and then sew the crotches. This is the back, it's longer, and the shorter one is the front. Here I'm sewing the front crotch. This is very short. Then once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and sew the back crotch. After that, we can sew the inseam, and then the shorties are done. Well, we can hem them as well. Now that the crotches are sewn, all we need to do is do this and then line up the inseams right here and get those sewn right there. I've got the back skirt extended here on the table. You can see it's already been hemmed, so all pressed and neat. And now I'm going to take my shorts and put them on top. I have marked the center right there with a little line, and I'm going to align that to the crotch seam there. And then I'm just going to start pinning this waist around, and it's going to overlap over to the front for a section right there. So once I've got that pinned, I'm going to hand baste it. And then over here on the shorties, we have that V shape that's going to match the V shape of the skirt right there. And then this one's going to overlap over here and cover the back part of the skirt partially. So that is how it goes. Once everything's hand basted on, it can act as one piece, and then I can sew on the waistband. Super easy to put together. On the side, you're going to have easy access to the pockets in the shorties right here. I'm pinning on the skirt here to the shorties, so you can see that's the back seam. This is the back skirt coming along the waist, and it reaches up to where that panel starts. You can see the seam of the panel of the shorties. That's where that reaches. Over here on the front, I've already pinned part of the front. You're pinning 1 to 1, so you're not stretching the skirt to match the top of the shorties. It should match exactly. And then we're going to have some left over here that is going to overlap over this back skirt over here. It overlaps by a good 4 inches. Now, remember, this is the skirt that has most overlap, that covers the leg the most. There is another skirt piece that is constructed in the exact same way, but covers the leg a little bit less on the side. At this point, I have all the skirt pinned onto the waistline of the shorties. And now this is just going to be one thing. This is how the side's going to look. I think it's super cute. See the rounded shape and the shorties under there. So I'm going to go ahead and baste this waistline all together so the skirt and the shorties are just one piece. I'm going to do that with my hands. I just find it easier that way. I already have my waistband constructed. This is the one with the simple V there, no overlap. I have already shown you a video how to sew this in detail. So look at this thumbnail here, and I'll leave that link down below so you can see how to sew on this waistband. So you can see how easy this was. It looks harder than it is. It's actually super easy. Once I've got the waistband sewn on, I'm done. I have already hemmed the shorties in there, and I'll have a super cute skirt to wear. But look at this little thing. It's so cute. I have used all of my fabric. I have a pair of joggers. I have a white t-shirt in this fabric. I have my Cali top, and now I have this little skirt. And now it's gone. There's no more. And yeah, I just love the fabric and I love the print so much. It's an athletic knit, very nice, 90% polyamide, 10% spandex, 9-ounce weight. And now you can see that the wrong side is white and then the print, so the contrast there is just too much. And that's why I decided to hem the overlay all the way around, even though in the instructions you just meant to cut it out really, really carefully. So that's just a choice I made, to add that 3/8 all the way around so that I could do this tiny little hem, and then this contrast isn't so apparent here when I move. Of course, you're still going to see the white if like the wind goes crazy, but at least I'm happy with that little hem. You don't have to do that, and I didn't do it with my other version, you'll see later. The inner waistband is done with the black athletic knit I used for the shorties, and this is the athletic knit I was saying I found was maybe a little too light for the shorties in here, 8-ounce weight. And then I used this print to make the lateral part right here, the side with the pocket. When I move and the skirt moves with the wind, you can see more of the print than of the black, so I'm happy with that. In the end I prefer how the shorties feel with a heavier black knit that you see later, but this is still fine. I can still wear it, you know, it's part of the process, and I just love it so much. This has a simple V. Of course, with this print you can barely see it, but it has that V right here. At the back it's just curved, no V at the back. It was just such an easy skirt to sew up, so comfortable. I love my choices with the length, longer shorties, and the middle line of the length of the overlap skirts. And yeah, let's see this one styled a few ways. I'm quite limited at this point of how many ways I can wear it, but you'll see it at least 2 ways, maybe 3. And with the Cali top, because it's a set and I'm obsessed. It's so cute. This is my first version of a Duet skirt. It is so pretty. You have already seen my Kali top in a previous video, and I made this to go together as a set. When I twirl, you can see the shorties underneath. There are 3 length options. I've got the middle length here, so it's not the shortest or the longest version. I have the longer shorties underneath. And I have the version of the skirt overlay that covers the sides the most, overlaps the most, and has a bit more volume there. You can see the skirt doesn't have a side seam, they just overlap inside the waistband. Lovely V waistband there, nice support. It's got 2 layers in there, it stays beautifully up. When I open up the overlay, you can see the shorties. I have done the side panel in the same print, and the pocket there is so easy to sew. They're so comfortable. They stay in place really well, and this means that you can do any type of activities in a skirt like this. Use your imagination and you can be really comfortable and well covered. I feel much more comfortable with a skirt covering shorties rather than just wearing shorties. It's a really floaty skirt, it looks amazing, and I could totally use this to go for a walk, to go to the gym, to get wet, to go into a beach, to go to a water park, whatever. I feel really good. I'm so glad I tried this skirt. I'm just super pleased at the result. It's so pretty. I did hem this overlay all the way around because my print is too contrasting on the inside. It's white. Here's another little casual look with my Duet skirt, this time with a black tank in an athletic knit. It's a shorter tank with a little peplum, super cute. I've changed the footwear here, no sneakers, so you can see that I could pretty much use this for many things, and I could just totally see myself relaxing around the pool in an outfit like this. Not too exposed, you know, I like to be as covered as I can, and this is the shortest I would wear shorties or a skirt. This is not something I would wear to go out to a regular place. This has a time and place, and just so cute. I love how it flows and swishes when you move around. I feel amazing in this. So nice, so fresh too. Now with my second version, I used a black athletic knit that's a little lighter to go on the overlay. I used the heavier knit to go with the shorties. And to cut this one, because I knew I wasn't going to be hemming it, I was just going to do it like the instruction says. I was super careful to cut this out with my rotary cutter. I changed my blade and I did it in one stroke, trying to be super neat so that the round part of the shapes came out super neat and not wonky with like jagged things, you know. I don't want that if I'm not going to have a hem. So that was a nice process. Not doing the hem means it was so much faster than the first version where I did make the hem. And this time I have the overlay that covers the shorties less. Ta-da, little black thing, so cute. This waistband, I used the same heavier knit that I used for the shorties inside. Now this was the last little bit I had of this athletic knit, and I was only able to cut one pocket. So I have the lateral panel, but I only have a pocket here on my right leg. I'm right-handed. It made sense for me to put it on my right leg. It's just easier for me to access anything I put in there. So I do have the pocket here, but on the other side, I just have the side panel of the shorties on its own, no pocket there. I'm not gonna miss it. And then this is the overlay, which is a lighter knit over here. It's not hemmed, it's just cut totally raw, but very carefully with my rotary cutter. And this doesn't curl. This is not a fabric that's gonna curl and get messy or fray. You know, these are knits, they don't fray. So I'm very happy with that. And this is the overlap V. So it's a waistband that doesn't have side seams over here. This is folded on the top as well. There's no seam on the top. And it's sewn in the exact same way over here. There's a few more layers in this area, but it just feels so nice on. It's worth all the layers that you get in there because the fit on the body is just so amazing, so smooth. And yeah, I love it. Let's see this one on. This one, because it's black, of course, has many more options. I'm going to pair it with all of my Kali tops. And I'm going to be so happy wearing this to the gym or to the pool or to the beach or to wherever that's casual and maybe has water involved, because these are fabrics that are going to dry fast. It's wicking, you know. I'm not going to go to church with this all the more. It's quite short. My legs are on show, but I'm not doing the shortest version, which I would never do. I'm quite happy with this length. for this type of garment. So let's see it on.
My second duet skirt is going to be a staple. These skirts are going to be worn so much because black goes with everything. You pretty much wear it with everything. This time my shorties are the same length. I have the same length of the overlay skirt, but I use the one that covers less on the side. And this time I didn't hem the overlay. I did it like the instructions. I was very careful when I was cutting it with a rotary cutter. The fabric of the overlay of the Cali top is the same fabric as the skirt overlay, so they go together really, really well. And the shorties, I used a heavier fabric with more compression, more spandex down there for more support. I really think that was a good choice. I used that same heavier knit to do this V that overlaps there. The waistband is so pretty. It feels amazing on. It stays up. It feels like you've got nothing there, and it's just pretty to look at with that V. Love this look. Super casual, super cute, and there's going to be a time when I'm going to really enjoy having this outfit. You'll be seeing all of my Cali tops, this time with sneakers, my duet skirt, so pretty. This time the Cali top is a little bit shorter, made in swim fabric. I could totally rock this to the gym and be super confident, and I could access the pocket on the side if I have my phone or something in there. This time I have a pocket only on one of the legs because I ran out of the fabric for the shorties. I was using the very last amount I had left, so I only have a pocket on my right leg, which is enough. Lovely waistband. I can't throw enough flowers to how this waistband feels. It's just so amazing. It feels really, really good on, and it's so easy to sew. Love this little look with my other Cali top. And here is my third Cali top with the same duet skirt in black. So lovely. I have these Birkenstock sandals that are not the leather version, and I've always worn these to beaches and pools. I really like the style. I think a lot of people don't like them, but I really like them. I'm just so pleased with this skirt. It's so nice. This is just amazing. I had to really control myself not to make more of these. I probably will make more in the future because this skirt is just so stinking cute. It's just so cute.
So happy with my duet skirts. Both V waistbands are lovely. This one covers the shorties more volume on the skirt. This one's a little bit less. I know this is going to be a staple for me. This is going to be super fun when I want to be in a print and just be a little bit extra. Love that this pairs with one of my Cali tops, and of course this one can be worn with so many things. I'm going to really love it. Pair of black skirts. I mean, what's not going to be worn more than this? If you like to be active and a little bit more covered in water situations, I think this is great. Better than a traditional swimming suit. At least for me, I feel amazing getting wet in something like this. It's the best. Find my affiliate link in the description box and the pinned comment down below. I hope you enjoyed these two garments. I've shown you 2 days in a row. I had a blast making them. So nice. I'm just so satisfied with them. I'm sure you're gonna like them too. That's all from me. I'll see you again very soon with more fun sewing. Next week, there's something amazing coming next week. So make sure you're subscribed. See you soon. Bye.